Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so in this lesson we're going to look at the all-important art of adding reverb to the headphone mix for the singer. So as many of you might know, adding reverb to the singer's headphone mix can sort of make their voice sound a bit more natural. So instead of it being perfectly dry like it normally would, obviously being recorded in a booth, so adding some reverb to it can just help the singer feel like the vocals a bit more natural, and therefore is supposed to be able to perform slightly better. And this is definitely very true. So there are a couple of ways of doing it, and it's going to depend somewhat on the sort of power of your computer or the ability of your sound card. And I will say that if you can't get this to work on your system really well or sufficiently well, like you might be getting too much of a delay between the reverb being heard by the singer and them singing it and the reverb being heard, then one super easy trick which can really help the singer sort of get a natural feel for the vocal is actually to sort of wear the headphones like half cocked. So basically one side of the headphone is just sitting halfway off the ear and halfway on. And that's the sort of quick and dirty way to get over having to add reverb to the headphone mix. So as I say, it can depend somewhat on the sort of speed or power of your computer, because you need to get as low a latency as possible. And in Cubase, you do this by going to Studio Setup, and then in the VST audio system, you go to your sound card settings, control panel, and then you want to get the buffer size, the latency, to the lowest possible. Now, normally in just a normal production work, I work at 512 samples. This is a decent amount of time for the computer to process the audio needed. But when you're recording, that is much too much of a delay. So you'll have it on probably like 48 samples if your computer can cope with that, and is what I generally use for recording vocals if I'm going to do it this way. And you can see there it says the input latency, output latency, so it's pretty small and it shouldn't be too bad. And all you need to do is click the monitor button. You should be able to actually almost hear the delay that's happening. You'll probably hear some phasing going on, but it's very, very slight. But even so, it's still enough to sort of slightly distract the singer, which isn't exactly ideal. You want everything to be as rock solid as possible, and that means basically having no latency going through to their headphones. But either way, I want to show you how to set up adding a reverb send on this channel, or the way that you add reverb to this channel, because this will transfer over to the other way that we're going to show in a moment. So in order to add reverb on that only the singer can hear through the headphone mix, it's as simple as adding reverb to it. So we come over here to our media tab, and we go to our VST effects, and of course find the reverb menu, and then just go down. I'm just going to add the sort of most basic Roomworks reverb on there, just because this will be the least CPU intensive of all the plugins you can use, so it will introduce the least amount of delay in the signal. And this is how you can now set up a send in Cubase. It's super easy. So you get the channel up, the channel settings of the channel that we want to add reverb to. In this case, it's the side channel. And then we just drag the plugin onto one of the sends, and it automatically sets us up an effects bus with the reverb on it. So if I click on that, you can see there's Roomworks SE, and it's also automatically sent it through to that group. So now if I monitor this, you'll hear that I now have reverb. And then when I want to record, as long as I've got the monitor button on, and I just hit record and do my recording, that's enough. Untick the monitor button, otherwise you won't be able to hear what you're playing back on the track. And also turn off the send, this is important, otherwise you'll think there's still reverb on there. Then hit play, hit record, and do my recording. And there we go, we've got a perfectly dry signal. So it's as simple as that, just setting up the send in Cubase. And it's not too bad. I mean, like I say, there's just the tiniest amount of delay, which some people will be affected by that more than others. So what we're going to do now is actually show you a different way entirely to basically negate any delay whatsoever. But it does mean that you need a sound card which has direct routing in it. So at the moment, the signal is being sent through Cubase, and it's going through this channel, it's being sent to the reverb, etc. So in this case, what I'm going to do is just unmute this, and now I can hear in my headphones, you can't hear this of course, but I can hear in my headphones my own vocal, but it's perfect. There's literally no delay no detectable delay whatsoever. It is definitely slightly better than processing it all the way through Cubase. But of course then if I do direct routing, I haven't got any effects. My sound card isn't capable, it doesn't have any DSP effects or anything like reverb, so I can't add reverb in the actual software itself, so I've still got to find a way of getting that from Cubase. Now what I can do is go to my mixer, and I'm going to basically monitor this, which then brings in the sort of slightly delayed audio signal. I'm going to turn that right down and then activate the send and turn that into a pre-send by clicking this little button here. And what that means is that without it, I've got only the signal coming direct from my sound card, but when I activate this send, I've then got reverb, which is being processed by Cubase. And of course, it doesn't actually matter. Let me just turn that off. Now, of course, it doesn't matter if there's a slight delay in the processing of the reverb itself, because it's reverb, so it is in effect a delayed kind of effect. So that's not important. But what I will show you quickly, so I actually forgot to mention this, but in the RoomWorks settings, you really need to set that mix to 100%. And for any send effect, this is the case. So I should have done that earlier, actually, so I apologize. But as soon as I loaded up the RoomWorks SE plugin, it should have been mix set to max. So it's not going to be a huge amount of difference, like I say, because the reverb effect is a sort of delay anyway, and any sort of bigger delay in between the time that the actual voice happens and then the reverb kicks in will only be sort of, your brain will only perceive that as something like sort of pre-delay, which is like an early reflection. So the time that your vocal takes to hit a wall and then bounce back to you. So once again, let's just go into our side settings and turn that to pre. And then of course we can balance the amount of reverb that the singer has in their headphone mix just by messing with the send level. And again, we can of course record. So let's just hit record and see what this sounds like. La 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 la. And once again, we've got to go back in and just mute the send effect there. And remember to untick monitor, otherwise you won't hear what you've recorded. And of course, go in and actually turn up your side volume as well. Hit record and see what this... And there we go, we've got a perfectly dry recording once again. So that is definitely the preferred method, because there is literally zero delay between the vocal being spoken and then them hearing it back in their headphones. If you pass it through Cubase, like the first way I showed you, there's always going to be, just even with the lowest latency you can get, there's always going to be a very, very slight delay, which can be distracting for some people. Some people do cope better with than others. So if your sound card doesn't have direct monitoring like this does, and your singer is really affected by the very subtle delay that is introduced by passing it through Cubase, then really the only sort of option you've got is to get them to sort of half cock the headphones, like I mentioned, and just have it fully on one ear and then just half off the other ear. So I hope that was helpful for you. Thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it, and if you want to get a much deeper understanding of vocal recording and mixing, then check out our full course on exactly that. It's over 5.5 hours spread over 34 lessons on everything you need to record and mix great vocals every time. Thanks for watching, guys and girls. I'll see you in the next one.